You're tuned in to BS with Joe, the podcast where common sense still makes sense. We break down the news, the culture, and the crazy, one blunt conversation at a time. Buckle up. This is going to be good.
All right, welcome to BS with Joe. So today we're diving into something big, Second Amendment, development that has hit the courts in just the last couple of weeks. 3 different states, 3 different rulings. Each one tells us something important about where gun rights are heading after the Supreme Court's decision with Bruen.
Yes.
So,
First up is Washington D.C.
Yeah, Washington D.C. The breaking a breaking from the urban gun owners.
Right. So basically, Washington D.C. made it easier for people owning rifles and shotguns to carry them, because if before this, if you were a licensed gun owner, you could still have felony charges for just carrying the weapon.
Yep.
So DC finally woke up on that one. So the district pulled back on that approach. If you own a registered shotgun or a rifle, you won't automatically face felony charges just for carrying it without a separate permit.
Yeah, and that's and is that carrying it in a bag of some sort, or is that open carry?
I don't know, but it was DC has some of the strictest gun laws in the country.
They do. They absolutely do. And that's the thing, is I'm from Florida. I know a little bit about some of the gun laws in Florida. DC, I am clear as mud. So that's why I was asking that question. Because with here in Florida, if you have a rifle or shotgun, you can carry it if you're in the act of hunting or fishing, or transporting it to and from the gun range from your vehicle. And you can't just walk down the street going to the gun range.
Right.
But there's exceptions for that here in Florida. Now, DC, I don't know what they have for that. Now, I'm sure they have to be in your car, or...
I'm sure that's pretty standard.
Yeah.
Or in a case.
In a case.
With the ammunition separate.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but when the government criminalizes tactical mistakes...
Well, you just owning and possessing those and not having the separate permit just for those...
Right.
That's a little extreme.
It scares people away from exercising their constitutional rights.
Well, it's blocking their constitutional rights. Yeah. Because an infringement is you not being able to practice those rights because you don't have a permit. I could go down that road a long ways.
So this shift is recognition that the Heller and the Bruen rulings mean blanket bans on criminalization by technicality will not hold up anymore.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like, oh, you didn't do this, you're not, you don't deserve that, you're getting arrested. And cops in certain areas, they're going to be looking for ways to arrest you for any little thing that you do not do correctly with your firearms.
Mm-hmm. That's their job.
Yep.
So down in New Mexico, the other one, or another one that we're talking about today.
Yes.
Federal judge just blocked the state's 7-day waiting period on gun purchases.
Yes. Jared from Guns and Gear covered a lot of this. I listened to that podcast.
This one's directly related to the Bruen.
Yes, it is. And I don't know what this judge was thinking and what they were thinking, that you could do a pause for 7 days to own a firearm that's state related. The federal government already has a pause on it for normal firearms, but now, there's some exclusions to that, but 7 days, it's a long period of time.
And the Supreme Court decided that was excessive.
That is excessive.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the Bruen decision in 2022 created the historical tradition test, which means that lawmakers want to defend the gun restriction. They can't just say, this seems reasonable.
Right. They have to show where in the past history that they did these restrictions, and there isn't any.
There's no tradition for making people sit on their hands for 7 days.
No.
So New Mexico lost on that one.
Yep.
Now we move on to Rhode Island, a blue state.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different judge upheld the state's proper cause requirement for concealed carry. So basically, in that case, you have to prove to the government why you need to carry a firearm before they'll issue you a permit.
You shouldn't have to prove. Just the fact that you're a citizen, your Second Amendment, it shall not be infringed.
Right. I mean, it's
So-
restrictive, no doubt.
Yeah.
So, but because it has historical cousins, it squeaked by the Bruen test.
Yeah. But there shouldn't be any restrictions. But
I know.
yeah.
I'm just saying, you know, 2 of them are good, 1 of them's not.
Yeah.
Of the 3 things that have come up in the last 14 days, I think.
Yeah. So in just the last 2 weeks, we've seen 3 different outcomes. D.C. easing up, New Mexico waiting periods blocked, and Rhode Island's restrictive.
They're surviving.
They're
The
surviving.
restrictions are surviving.
Yeah, but there shouldn't be.
So the big takeaway, Bruen has completely reshaped the battlefield. Gun laws now have, they live or die based on whether they match America's historical record. And that means the debate is far from over.
Yeah, it is. There's just a lot going on with gun stuff going on, and one thing I want to go into on that is so we're getting a lot of our freedoms. Now this is the thing that's kind of I've been thinking about. We're getting a lot of our freedoms back that we should have never lost.
True.
In a lot of these states, but here's one thing to think about. Right now, we've DC, which they can do. We could talk about this in a later segment, but DC's got National Guard troops and all this other stuff. They're going through DC and they're cleaning up DC. They're holding up to rule of law in DC right now.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people thinking, oh, that's Gestapo. They shouldn't be doing this. They shouldn't be doing that. But they're following the rule of law.
Well, let me ask the viewers, should American gun laws be bound to 18th century laws? Or do we modernize, is this the only way to keep constitutional rights?
Well, your constitutional rights, I think, should never be infringed. But in D.C., they're talking about possibly doing martial law. And martial law, they're going to take away your gun rights. D.C.'s not, they're used to that. But they haven't gotten to that point yet.
I don't know that they will, to be honest.
I don't think they will. They've cleaned up the streets quite a bit, and the crime has gone down dramatically. But that's if there was ever a pushback.
On the whole DC thing, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me because crime was already down a solid 30% before Trump decided that it was an issue.
Well, that's a whole nother topic because that they
I know we're kind of veering off.
the one of the police people who do the recording and active crime statistics lied on a lot of those.
Really?
Yes. So whenever they say, oh, it's down 30%, no, they weren't, because there was an individual that was caught lying about that.
Gotcha.
So that's part of the reason why Trump went in anyway, because if they're lying about that, who knows what it really is?
Right.
So them saying it's down by 30%, that's not a factual number.
So let us know what you think. What do you think is the direct direction to go with gun laws?
Yep. Please like, share, leave a comment. And you know my stance on it.
I pretty much agree with him.
But if you are somebody who believes that we need to have common sense gun laws in effect, please let us know. And
Let us
give
know
us
what
details.
what does that mean?
What does that mean? What does that entail?
Yeah.
But like, share, subscribe, and
Yes.
leave a comment.
Please. And let us know where you're listening from.
Yeah.